Alright, what is going on everyone? Welcome back to the channel, Connor Unchained. So today's video, I'm not going to be rambling on for too long, about a bunch of stuff. Kind of just want to cover the market today, what it's done, and, just show you guys a couple charts. So, diving in, we got Bitcoin. Actually, let me delete this, because I did not actually take this. But, to me, this market is literally bipolar. It's crazy. I swear, literally all day, in the morning, all day, we bombed to 62K. What kind of percent were we down? I think it was, 4. I mean, it seemed like way further than that, to be honest. But literally within that same daily candle, we went all the way down. And the reason why I have this green box here is because, if you guys do a lot of trading, if you are actively in the markets, you have a very good sense of how, I guess liquidity kind of flows in a market. If you are zooming out on like a daily, we'll go to a 4-hour. So the reason why this is pumping heavily from this general area, which I didn't really think about it before until I really checked it out again, is because if we replay this, obviously my bias, of course, for Bitcoin is very bullish, right? But so as of now, Bitcoin made this new level, right? Had a bounce, sat here, came back up, had another bounce right here. So after looking at that level, what are we forming here? We have a clear, simple support area, right? But what is underneath? What are most people, especially newer investors that don't, they don't know the market and they don't understand liquidity and stuff like that, where are they going to be putting and looking for trades? Or where have they already entered a trade? More than likely, it's going to be somewhere right along the support level, right? That's why I just drew that person. Because when I do a lot of, analysis and stuff, this is what I usually do is, look for levels, so where, we could have one random person. We got Johnny from Ohio. He's got his stop loss right here. He took this trade, saw it bouncing. He's like, all right, I'm in profit. I'm going to hold this until 100K, right? Get another one. Nope. I don't know why I can't drag that. Now we got another one here. And I cannot drag this little guy. All right, so we got Johnny here. And then let's say we got Johnny and Tyrese. So we got two people, right? They both put their trades here. They both think they're trading gods real quick. They think it's just going to go up only from here. But then what happens in the market? Bottom line, that their stop losses are probably going to be pretty tight. They're going to be just underneath this level. In this general range, of course I'm frozen. This general area, though, there is liquidity now underneath these levels. So a lot of times, the market, where is it going to go into? It's going to find where that liquidity is, because when big players are entering and looking to jump in a market, they need a lot of that liquidity in order to actually enter in massive positions. So price, again, let's say this is the order that Tyrese or Johnny had open, right? So they get stops out all their orders. They take all that liquidity, they sweep it, and now they push price up, because now that liquidity is taken out and it's now going back into the right direction, right? But again, I'm not saying that now because this was swept and now we're just going to go up only from here. A lot of times price might even do that and go even a little bit lower. But another thing, I like to look for, if we go on a daily, a lot of times is just when we have candle openings. A lot of times, usually price likes to tap into it. Again, not every time, but in general areas, especially right where, especially where liquidity is gathering up, this is a great entry for a potential long. Again, as long as your bias was to the upside, liquidity was swept, went right into that general zone on the daily, and took a nice bounce to the upside, So again, I did not take that, But if I was actually paying attention to, really looking at day trading Bitcoin, which I really don't do that at all. If I was really focusing on that, I probably would have taken that again, which is hence the drawing I had. But like I said, this is still the same bounce within the day. This could end up moving up, going back down again, but we could just continue to bounce and rally up and finally have that leg up, breaking through the structure, right? So again, just because it did that, tapped in and came up, does not mean that it's, going to just make new highs now. Still going to take this day by day, but it does look very strong. Even on a daily, I think for me here, it's around 6:30 p.m. I think the daily close is going to be within 30 minutes. So seeing a candle like this on a daily is very bullish in my opinion. To me, it's showing a lot of strength in the market, trying to push up, right? So outside of that, we'll see how the next few daily candles close. I assume it's going to, at this point now, probably range within 64 to maybe 67 over the next maybe 2-3 days. I'd say by next Monday, next week, we're still probably going to be chilling here. Maybe we're up a little higher, 67, 68. Or if the market still turns pretty sour over the next few days into next week, then we're probably going to be a little bit lower, potentially into 60K, into 62K range. Or we might wick one more time lower before we, again, continue a bounce to the upside, if that is what the market has in mind, right? Again, the market is still very choppy for what it is. So I personally, I want to see a ton of upside right now, but obviously the market's going to decide that over time. But Bitcoin, again, outside of all that I just brought up, we could just see a rally to the upside, form some sort of bullish trend now, something like that. Bounces on this and finally breaks through. Or, we just see, again, maybe price does one more dump, consolidates, and then finally moves up. That personally is what I want to see happen the most. But again, no one ever knows exactly what's going to happen. But outside of that, ETH still similar, basically another short-term double bottom. Or actually, this is kind of a longer term. It's on a daily. But now this is making, almost equal levels here. Minor support level, major one on the daily. But to me, what is this also doing on a daily? This is building a ton of liquidity potentially underneath this. So, it's very hard to just say that we're going to go up only or not. So, I don't know. Definitely pretty interesting. But again, focusing on Bitcoin, we're going to take it day by day because Bitcoin basically tells you what the whole market is going to do. Bitcoin dumps 2%. Your favorite altcoin is going to be down 10 to 20% in the same hour, Bitcoin's up 8% on the day as a God candle. You bet your ass your favorite altcoin is going to have a God candle the same day as well. So that's why I really want to focus on that. Lots of AI coins dumped a ton today. Spec, don't know why it's down 20%, had a huge dump. I think I just talked about it too. I still really like Spec. But again, the AI sentiment still down bad. It's going to continue to be down bad probably until we see Bitcoin and ETH at new highs. That's going to kind of revive every single coin, every single narrative basically in the market. And again, I'm not talking about coins that have went all the way to zero. I don't mean they're going to recover, and run into new highs. I just mean the entire sentiment in and of itself of every individual narrative is going to have a revival, as in a lot of people are going to look back into the narratives to want to invest again. But that will happen, in my opinion, once we are at least around, for Bitcoin, at least 75 to 80K, because that'll signal to people that we more than likely are going to just break into new highs and start a real run into price discovery, which I think that's what we're all waiting for in this bull market, right? So that's just a little bit of analysis here on Bitcoin. I think the daily actually looks very good. I know this candle will hold, but if we do see a bunch of green candles over the next week, I think that's going to be really good for potential continuation. So I'm definitely watching that here. Like I said, AI sentiment's still very low. Solana chart still, in my opinion, Solana as well looks very good too. I think it's still honestly probably going to continue from here. Same thing though, good candle might bounce, maybe it bounces around one more time. That's also, I think I tweeted that about a week ago. I told people, be careful with leverage, careful trying to, long, because a lot of times price literally will do that. It's predicting, big players are predicting that everyone is going long right here. Everyone thinks the market is going to just rip to the upside. And what do? They stop everyone out and then they push up. That's just how, again, I don't know how manipulated like crypto is. I assume very, very manipulated, with the major pairs, but like if you're talking about different markets and stuff, that's how a lot of major markets kind of move. And after seeing that, because again, a lot of people are literally longing Solana. It seemed like off anywhere around this move, targeting, $200, $300, $250, whatever. But obviously price came down, same thing though, swept into this candle on the daily. Kind of pulled exactly what Bitcoin did. Yeah, if I can zoom in today, there we go. Well, actually, no, this one even lower. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe we see this come lower, worst case. But I don't know. Because there would be some sort of zone here. But also a zone there. But this came down pretty low. So I actually don't know. I don't think it'll hit this low, but worst case, maybe it does. But I think, again, even short term, I think Solana chart looks very bullish. I think this is going to at least end up going to at least $200 somewhat in the short term. That's my personal prediction. Whether it takes a few weeks, I think it does look very good going forward. It kind of set the RSI back to like equal ground. So maybe RSI does need to drop a little, and then it's probably going to run again into probably new highs at some point too. But again, I honestly did not expect it. I swear the market sentiment too on the timeline went from literally nuked. Everyone was pissed. Everyone's like, you know what, I'm done with crypto. We're done. We're going back to 12K on Bitcoin. To then now everyone's like, oh wow, that dip was eaten up. We're going back to the moon tomorrow. I swear, sometimes you can't look at your crypto timeline because everyone's just insanely emotional in the market, and it is what it is. This is a very emotional market. It is what it is. But sometimes I swear you just gotta put your phone down sometimes and just zoom out, focus on the charts, and just let things play out how they're gonna play out, right? But again, even on the daily for Bitcoin, it does look pretty good. This also reset the RSI back to middle ground. Which the reason why I like that is because that kind of gives at some point more potential, for an upward move, especially if the chart has been down for a little bit. Just like down here, literally at a double bottom, we saw some divergence. His price was double bottomed, continuing to dump, but the RSI was holding up, And the RSI actually showed literal divergence here. RSI was going up on the double bounce, but on Bitcoin the price is going down. That is a bullish divergence in the market. But as of now, maybe we see one more little bit low, so it kind of continues like an uptrend here. I don't know, maybe going into August, or August rather. Yeah, guys, Mog looks so good too. But this video is not meant to be about meme coins, so outside of that, guys, that's mainly what I wanted to cover. Just to give you guys a little bit of perspective on the market. I do have a video maybe tomorrow going to be covering a new high conviction Bitcoin DeFi project of mine. I'm going to cover it fairly in depth. There's a lot of great things with it. Minimal red flags in my opinion going forward with it. I think it looks very, very strong just as a somewhat lower cap long-term hold in my opinion. I think it looks very strong for what it is. So I'm going to cover that tomorrow. I still want to make more videos covering more runes and stuff, because I do now have a couple high conviction runes slash Bitcoin DeFi plays from now going forward still. So I'll make some videos covering that as well. So that has been covered in the Discord now. And yeah, outside of that, I just wanted to cover the market sentiment because, I think it's, like I said, I'm literally a perma bull in a bull run. Even though sometimes it might not be the best thing, obviously, through a correction here, going sideways, staying in between 60K to 70K, alts got absolutely obliterated, but, going forward, I think we're still at the forefront of another huge major run at some point. So, like I say all the time, continue to be bullish in the market. I know a lot of times you literally might think it's completely over, but that is how the market messes with everyone's head. That's how this market is. It will mentally screw you until you are literally about to click the sell button. And then if you force yourself not to hit that sell button, wait 2 days, it finally does what you want it to. And it's like, you're like, oh my God. My patience has been tested so much already. That's what the market is, guys. But maintain bullishness. We will resume potential up only at some point. But outside of that, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you guys in the video on some Bitcoin DeFi tomorrow. So thanks. See you later.